Personally, I didn't appreciate them. I still, so far, didn't digest the words of Thiago Motta post-Napoli Juventus, and we need to come back on it. Absolutely. This morning, I didn't have the opportunity in the post-game, in the day after Napoli Juve, and people that watch the video, you know why I didn't get that opportunity with that Christopher Nolan split of the video, part 1, part 2. For the people that didn't watch it, I recommend you to watch it and then tell me if you appreciated it or not. But guys, what did you want me to tell about the second half, the second non-half of Juventus Football Club? Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. We speak about the words of Thiago Motta, and only that, so only this topic, because it's a big one that is reflecting a lot. Look, I tell you, when you have the opportunity to speak to the microphones, you don't have a lot of opportunities, first of all. You don't have a lot of opportunities. When do they speak? The coach speaks in press conference the day before the game and speaks after the game. Sometimes, if you are lucky, between the first and second half, people that are living in Italy, they are watching the zone, they hear the words of Thiago Motta. Can happen, it's not always the case. When do we hear other people from the club? Well, sometimes Cristiano Giuntoli before the game, that is usually asked questions about the mercato, but about Juve state, about the moment, it's really difficult to have spots to hear them. One time we hear Scanavino in the beginning of the season to set actually the roadmap, and then if you are lucky, you have an interview of the owner one time a year in a dedicated sport page in Italy. That's it. What does that mean? That the weight of your words are extremely important, because you are not speaking to journalists. No. You are not speaking to YouTubers, content creators. No. You are speaking to supporters, to your supporters, to the tifosi. You enter their mind, you enter their heart. And if you are not able in these few moments, and I know it's extremely difficult to communicate when you have that anger inside. How many times here in post-game did I slip? Did I make mistake? Did I say things that I didn't really wanted to say? But if you flop, you need to wait until the next press conference, so a few days later, to have an opportunity to make it better. And usually, it's already too late. Look, there was one thing that really caught my attention in the beginning, the first press conference of Thiago Motta when he was presented at Juve. It's when a journalist is asking him about the different competitions that we will play this season. And he said, look, no alibi, no excuses. And it's true that for a long part of this season, he never used excuses. He never used alibi. But what I heard yesterday were a lot. And honestly, he went and he became better in the last few press conferences. Win, draw, or no, losses not, because we didn't lose. Better. After the pre-game press conference of Milan, do you remember, with that non-obsession that went totally viral? Since then, maybe also supported by Juve, by a communication team, we heard a lot of time, and I praised it here also, that word victory is important, winning is important, this is what matters, super important. We are not satisfied with the ranking of Juventus. You know, I said it, more you say, more you start to be convinced about it, first yourselves, but also the people that are listening to you, the supporters, but especially the players, that from your mouth they are hearing that word, winning, winning, winning. Look, yesterday he said a lot of things that were alibis, were excuses. At least this is how I gave that interpretation, and maybe he will come back on it before the next game. I believe it's Empoli, I'm not even sure about it, but it could, and he will make it right. But it will probably already be too late, because people, they still didn't forgive the non-obsession to victory, even if it was out of context, to be totally honest. But when you are using these words, strong words, harsh words, well, people, they go with their own interpretation, and you don't have a lot of chances. So yesterday, after the game, he starts immediately to repeat 3 times that we lost again an opponent that is first in the standings. Repeating it 3 times, guys. 3 times that we lost again the first in the ranking. A strong team with a good coach. He already started to praise Antonio Conte also in the press conference before the game. He's repeating it's a good team, it's a good coach. They are first. Things that at a certain moment, okay, I understand it. But when you're saying we lost our very first game in Serie A against the first one in the ranking, I don't care. Personally, I don't care against who we lost that first game. I don't want to hear we lost. I'm not feeling better because we lost against Napoli. I don't feel better 0 points against Napoli, like 0 points against Stuttgart, like 0 points, even if there were no points in Supercoppa against Milan, like it would have been 0 points against Venezia if we lost against Venezia, just to tell you. So one time I can even maybe understand it if you start like that, but if you repeat it 3 times, I don't feel better because of that. He continues, having had the opportunity to prepare the entire week, we come from playing many games. They had the opportunity to train the entire week, and we are tired, we are scared. A few weeks ago, I heard Thiago Motta, not even a few weeks ago, I believe 1 week, max 2 weeks ago, saying we are in an optimal physical conditions. The kids, the guys, the boys, they are in a good physical condition. No problems about that. And today you're telling me that the other ones, they had an entire week to rest, and we didn't have an entire week to rest because we spent a lot of energy also in Bruges. So what is right, what is wrong? Are we tired? Are we not tired? Because if we are now, at that moment, in the 26th of January, already at minus 16 from the first, I'm thinking that at the moment while I'm recording, Fiorentina is winning, so Fiorentina goes closer, and we are still at minus 2 from the 4th spot because we lost yesterday. But if we are tired, I don't know where we will find the energies. If you're telling me we are in physical optimal condition like 2 weeks ago, I can believe that we can play for 90 minutes, being able to run. He said it always, no excuses about the repetition of games, about the amount of games, about the multiple competitions that we will play this season. We have a lot, we know it, but no alibi, because we know the calendar, the schedule already before the season starts, and that's already 1 point that is annoying me. One big point. Then we continue. With the question, the defeat that makes you aware. He says, we are 100% focused. In many other games, we have reacted well and recovered the game. In many other games, we have reacted well and recovered the game. How many games? When was the last time? I remember Inter, I remember Bologna, I remember Leipzig, I don't remember a lot. And all these games I need to go back in memory, because what I remember is that at the moment we gave away 8 times a lead. Juve Cagliari, Lecce Juve, Juve Venezia, Juventus Fiorentina, Torino Juve, Atalanta Juve, Napoli Juve, but also in the Inter Juve that we were leading at a certain moment 2-1, and then we gave it away again before catching back that game. That's true. But that's 17 points lost from actually leading games. That's really a lot. So if you tell me there were a lot of games, or there were many other games that we actually recovered, I don't know when it was. I need to see facts more than words. We as Juventus have not been able to win on this pitch since 2019. And it is a fact that must be said. No. I don't care. I said it in the pre-game, because I was preparing the game, and I told you it's a difficult field to play. It's already since 2019 that we don't win. But this one cannot be said after losing against Napoli, especially the way that we lost that game and the way that we didn't win, that we didn't play that second half. You cannot tell me it's since 2019 that we didn't win it. Because what will happen when we will be eliminated from Champions League? If we are eliminated from Champions League, you never know in life. But when we will be eliminated from Champions League, what they will tell me? That we didn't win it since 96. No, ragazzi. This is not okay. This is not acceptable. I don't care. I really don't care. Juventus is Juventus. There should not be a field that is prohibited for Juventus. That is a difficult field for Juve. Yes, the facts are telling us that it's hard. It's difficult to play in the Maradona Stadium. But you cannot say it in front of microphones. What does that mean? That the next game that we are playing in the Maradona Stadium is already... If we lose, we lose. Bah, we played in the Maradona Stadium. But I'm speaking about the players, because that's the message that the players will receive. But we play against Napoli. We will try to win, of course. We'll try to win. We will play. But if we lose, guy, it's already since 2019 that we didn't win that game. And we won only 2-1. So it was... No, don't give, first of all, alibis in front of microphones. And then don't give a chance for your players to take it as an alibi. I didn't like it. Napoli pressed a lot, ran a lot, and the fact of preparing it during the week represent a small advantage. I don't want to hear that. It's true. Huh? They had an entire week to prepare it. We knew it about it, but we knew it since long time. That means that we didn't prepare the month of January as we should. We didn't prepare it because we knew since extremely long time ago that we would have our January. If you go back to the draws of Serie A, this is the first thing that we did. We checked the games that would come, and then we checked and we said January will be extremely difficult. Supercoppa, Champions League, there will be Napoli, there will be Milan. That will be really, really a tough one. You prepare your physicality like that. You rest some players, you rotate some players, whatever. It's not my problem. But you cannot go in front of microphones telling me that they had a little advantage. It's impossible. What was missing? And that's where he says we didn't lack personality. On the contrary, we showed a lot in the first half. And honestly, I agree 100% with that. We showed personality. We showed beautiful football. We were leading with Colomani that just came, and played a good game. Killer instinct in front of the goal. Thuram, fantastic. We had that ball possession. We were doing the right things. Everything was going well. Everything was going super. Everything was going fantastic. You showed that you had personality, that you could play against Napoli that honestly, between you and me, is not even that fantastic. It's not even that fantastic. And yet, the way that we played in that first half, we did really well. But then it comes with, in the second half, we wanted to stay compact. Also because we played 95 minutes against the top teams in the league and in a good shape. And who prepared the game during the week? We come from playing many games. Even in Bruges, we spent a lot of energy. He's telling us that between that first half and that second half, because we were leading and because he was anticipating that we would have that lack of energy, that Napoli will have more energy, that he actually said to his guys, be compact and try to go with the first pressing. When possible, if we catch the ball, we go, we try. Then he's telling us that every time that we recuperated the ball, we lost every single duel, which is right as well, because especially the aerial ones, 75% in second half for Napoli, 25% for Juve. So we were devastated. We were eaten by Napoli yesterday. Totally destroyed, but sincerely, totally destroyed by Napoli. But actually, you should go in the total different way. If you know that at a certain moment of that second half, you will be devastated because they have more power, more energy, more grinta, more aggressivity, because they are playing at home, because they will have that support of the people. You know what you say, guys? I know that you are tired. I know it has been difficult. It's the last game of January. Go all in, at least in Serie A. Go all in. Push all you can for 25 minutes. We already missed an opportunity with Ken and Yildiz, but we scored a goal. That means that we can go up front. We had more chances than them. We had more possession as them. Do it for 25 minutes trying to score 1 and 2 goals. Because if we are able to do that, we close the game. And then they can put all the energy that they want if they score 1 goal, if they score 2 goals. We at least win 3-2. Do it now, because if we go and parking the bus, because actually yesterday this is what he's telling us, being compact, staying behind, playing with Locatelli as a not even anymore thinking up front, but only as a center back and not to man mark Lukaku, anticipating him, intercepting him, what she was doing also in that first half, and launching balls left, right, centrally, high, low, whatever, but only thinking to defend him with the other ones, all staying low, Cambiaso, Weston McKennie, nobody was going up anymore. Then it's over, then you will concede. Then you will actually make sure that your people, because look at the mistake of Cambiaso, that mistakes come extremely low on the field. Look at the mistake of Locatelli, it's because he's there alone, obliged to do something crazy. By the way, speaking about Locatelli, it's already the second time that he's doing the same mistake. The same mistake in 2025, and we just started. We are only January. That doesn't mean that he's a bad player, but that one is a heavy one. That one is a heavy one because it's a repeated one. And if you're a captain, if you need to give that exemplarity, that example to the people, you need to avoid these kind of things because you're throwing away points, victories, trophies. And Cambiaso also should or wake up or push maybe a bit to Manchester City to give that offer, because that Cambiaso that we are watching ultimately is absolutely not presentable. And if he's not presentable, then the coach needs to take a decision. he needs to take a strong decision. Cambiaso, you are not performing. Cambiaso, you are not there with your mind, with your head. You are on the bench. No? Look, it's not only the words, it's also the acts yesterday, the facts, what we saw yesterday. If at the 65th minute, when you conceded the goal, your first changes are Bangula, Savona, with all the respect, seriously, with all the respect, I am not sure what message you are sending to your team. I love Bangula, I love Savona, but these two players, don't forget about that. Never forget about that. They are doing way more than we should have expected from them. Way more than we should have expected from them. So we need to be grateful for all the things that they are doing, the beautiful things and also the mistakes. But if you are actually putting at the 65th minute against the first one that you are saying as the first one in the league, when they just are in their peak moment, they just equalize. You put me two players that last year at the same times were actually playing relegation, third division. That's not a beautiful message that you are sending me. That's not a beautiful message. We had some players yesterday. We had a lot of players. We could have gone with two strikers, with Dusan Vlahovic, which I would not have recommended, but we could. That's just, if you're sending on the field your most paid player, the most paid player of Serie A, is one message. If you're sending Savona, it's another one. If you're sending Conceição with international appeal, it's one message. If you're sending, you see? You concede the other goal. What are your next changes? Nico Gonzalez and Locatelli out for Chico Conceição and Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz, we said it, is not a player that is changing you the game. And you saw the attitude about how he enters. It's not the right one for a game like that where physically you were totally devastated. It is not. And these changes, the four that I just mentioned, are spot for spot, which means that you saw that things were not going well and you insist with just changing faces, hoping that these players will give you something that the other ones were not able to give you in that second half. Maybe it's not the players at that moment that were not working. Maybe it was your plan that was not more working anymore. Maybe it was the motivation. Maybe it's the guys that are thinking we have an alibi because since 2019 we didn't win into that game. Look at Simeone, a bench player from Napoli, how he entered yesterday, I believe at the 93rd minute or the 87th, I don't remember. He's on the ground fighting with his life to take that ball with the head, fighting between three Juventini. We're not able to take that ball from him. I miss that. I miss that, guys. Press conference of Thiago Motta, the words are tough to digest. I'm convinced, I can already tell you here today, that next week, or no, this week, maybe before Benfica, or I'm not sure about Benfica, but surely before the next game in Serie A, we will come back on these words, or they will come back on these words because they were not good. Ragazzi, that was it for a longer video than this morning, and this time I spoke the entirety of it. Let me know what you think. Really, let me know. But communication, Thiago Motta, Juve needs to be better because these ones were seriously not good, honestly. Grazie, forza, Juve.